So many warm blessings on this solstice moment. My name is Katsura Balanza, and I am sharing with you from Oregon, United States. And so it is cold here, and we are in the winter solstice. Before delving into this conversation, I want to invite you to take a breath with we, tapping into the field that is created through our connecting with heart. Starting with connecting with our own heart, the many hearts, the heart of the Great One, Creator, Source, God, this. I also want to share before delving into conversation that recently I've been working on connecting and activating the high heart and really feeling into the heart center, the high heart that some would say is slightly above our human heart space. It's hard for me to explain the high heart. It's not something I've done a lot of research on. It's something that I am aware of, and recently just really tapping into it. And I see the high heart space as coming below the neck, kind of in between below the neck and above where our regular heart is, kind of in between the shoulders, below the neck. Anyway, as I've been tapping into this high heart space, I've been working on that, connecting to all that is, really feeling into the field when we are in that more meditative state, that state that is in a deeper awareness of the subtleties of life. And so I invite you to be present with that in your own life. And would like to go on now and share upon this solstice. And since I am in the winter side of solstice here in the northern atmosphere, as well as recently having experienced the death of beloveds within the community, I'm definitely feeling the energy of death present and sitting with the feelings that arise, the full range of sorrow, confusion, of wondering of why, of trying to see the beauty that comes with death, and remember that death is also a gift to us. And I want to take a moment to just give gratitude for our own life and the great life that is abundant all around us. Share blessings to all those who have passed. Blessings for a smooth transition to the other side. For all smooth transition for those who have passed to the other side, and for those who are feeling the space of someone that is no longer there. I wrote some on my blog. You can check out to my own experiences with death in my life. And in this video, I want to speak more to the different ways that death might present itself to us. There's, of course, the physical death of a person. There's egoic death of who we are in different stages of our life. Death of careers, relationships. Yeah, it presents itself in many different ways. And with death, of course, there is birth and the opportunity for new life. If, of course, we experience a human death, I think it can be a little more challenging personally to see the direct connection to birth. Maybe it is the actual birth of a new human life. And in our life, maybe it is a birth that just we cannot witness with our eyes, or we do not understand until many years later. I'll speak to, I guess, a personal experience, most personal experience with death that I've had. And just overall in life, I experienced the death of a human in my life very consistently in my youth. It became normal to go to funerals. That was just a part of life. I attended many funerals in my early years, whether it was someone close like my mother, grandfather's grandmother, or someone more distant like an aunt that I only met a few times. It was just a normal part of life. And what has birthed for me through these experiences with death is a comfort with death, a recognition that working with death as a death doula is something that is on my path. And so I invite you to see if you have lost someone, a beloved in your life, what wants to come, what wants to birth. Give it time. First, experience the full realm of emotions, the sadness, the anger, the grief. Be with it all. Don't try to tell any of it that it's not okay. Allow it to be. Sit with it. Feel deeply into it. And like with birth, the actual birth of a child, there's the birth canal and that passage of coming into life. With grief, the grieving process, it's also a passage. Remember that the love that you share with this being is still present. It's transformed now, and it is now something that can be shared or experienced through the stars, through the earth, the rocks that are literally holding the energy of all those who have walked on it before us. And I would like to speak more to the grief process and the passage back into that feeling, the love, that deep love once more. I share with you from my personal experience, and this applies to death of a person in our life or to the death of our ego, an aspect of self, a relationship, maybe a job, or a life once lived that is now shifted. When death comes and that reality that we once knew takes place, it's easy for us to go into a state of not wanting to accept this new reality. And maybe it's not that we don't want to accept it, maybe we do want to accept it, yet we find ourselves in this space of wondering what if, and holding on to our ideas of what could have been. And that holding on to what could have been, to our ideas of something, to this reality that was once there, yet now has shifted, is what can be the most painful. It's not really what has happened. For example, if it's the death of someone, for them, they are now freed into the next. If it is the death of an aspect of self, that aspect of self was no longer serving us and is now ready to be released. And by holding on to this, we are limiting our full potential of birthing the most abundant reality that is wanting to come to us. If someone has passed, it is now their time to help from the other side, if that is the path. If it is an aspect of self that we are letting go of, for our new self to be born again, then to hold on is to only, once again, limit our full potential. I am coming back to that. It's like a snake holding on to its skin. There's no need to hold on to that skin. That skin can be left behind. The snake has its new skin to continue the journey forward. That is going to help it be the snake it needs to be. Like ourselves, once we let go of an aspect of self, then we can really fully be who we are meant to be in this now moment, not who we wanted to be, who we thought we were going to be, over here, or who we were back over there, but who we are right now in this moment. They say nothing exists but this moment. How can we fully be most present with this moment and every moment? I would like to share some ways that has helped me in my releasing process. And for releasing relationships and moving forward in that realm, I have worked with fire a lot. I have written out my anger, my feelings of anger or sorrow. Just fully express them, let them sit. And most recently, I let them sit for over a full moon cycle. It's over 28 days. I reread them so that I could understand, where I am at now and where I was. Remember that place I was at, give gratitude for it and what it shared. Remember why I'm at where I'm at now. And then burn it in the fire. Let the fire do its work so that it can be released, transformed, so that we can feel that release, we can transform, and this might be a process that needs to be done for many moons. It's not always just overnight. It rarely is overnight. It's possible. Not always, though. And and then this next one I'm going to share is not a ritual or ceremony that I have done myself. It is one that I read in the book, The Spirit of Intimacy. Beautiful sharing on ritual and ceremony. And I intend to practice this one here shortly. I'll go ahead and share it now, though. And what they suggest is if there is a deep, and this is especially for if your spouse or someone has died, you can also do it though if there's just a deep connection with the person. And they suggest taking a branch using the earth, a branch that has one piece that is alive to represent the person that is still alive, and one piece that is dead from the branch to represent the essence of the person that is now passed, and to split them so that it symbolizes that split from this earth to the other realm. And using that symbology connected to spirit, our spirit, their spirit, the great spirit, and allowing that to occur. One possibility, I also invite you to get creative and find what speaks to you, what helps you feel that sense of release and honoring of another person. And then with the other piece of branch that is dead, as representing that, you can burn it, bury it, maybe even put it on your altar, whatever feels best. Just remember not to hold on to something that is not serving you. And then what was suggested is if you are in relationship with someone and that relationship ends, so that you are not still entangled within the construct of what was once created, a ceremony they suggested was to take a branch, perhaps, that has two live pieces on it, with one dead piece. The two live pieces represent the two people that are still alive, and the dead piece, of course, represents what was created within that relationship. And then separating the piece that is dead, separating the two pieces that are alive, to show the separation of those two people, the separation of what was once built but now is no longer present. And then, of course, you can do what you wish with pieces of wood, whether it's to burn them, bury them. I personally wouldn't want to keep them myself, because I feel like that would be an unhealthy holding on. But maybe that works for you, and that's your way of experiencing, honoring the reminder, Who knows? you know. Just look within, all the answers. And yeah. Oh, that's my little solstice death. Blessings of love, of overcoming, of connectedness, unity, oneness. And yeah, just want to share that I do offering intuitive guidance currently, if that is something that feels resonant, as well as Reiki, energy work. Please do reach out. I would be happy to share in that. May you walk with ease and grace on your divine path of purpose, always and in always. so